Doll fans, are we witnessing the slow downfall of Barbie? Mattel has made some truly baffling decisions recently, which I can't help but feel like are going to affect Barbie in the long term. Decisions like firing celebrated long-time Barbie designers like Bill Greening and loads of others, and the continuous removal of quality from all of their dolls, and their recent decision to scale back on their diversity, equality, and inclusion commitments. It's really starting to feel quite bleak to be a Barbie fan. But this decline has been a long time in the making, and we're going to talk about it all in today's video. But first of all, if you love dolls as much as I do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check me out on Instagram and TikTok, and also consider supporting me on Patreon. I have loads of exclusive videos on my Patreon. Your financial support would mean a lot to me. Supporting me starts from just $3, so what do you have to lose? Anyway, first of all, we're going to start by talking about Barbie's decline in quality. Obviously, Barbie had been riding high in the early 90s with some of her most impressive sale numbers ever. But throughout the 90s, her sales started to decline. And then in the 2000s, Barbie was really struggling to stay culturally relevant. Which brings us to 2008, which is when we really started to see her quality disappearing. In 2008, her hair quality got considerably worse, especially for the budget Barbie dolls, and some of them started to have plastic painted on tops. The year before, all of the princess dolls had entirely removable outfits. This year, they were like plastic, but they still had like material sleeves. Also, in 2008, I remember this was the first time that I started to see dolls with the hard, cheap plastic legs. I remember I bought this birthday Barbie and I was really disappointed by the quality of the material that was used and also her plastic legs. I was really shocked by how cheap they felt. In the years that followed, the Barbie dolls continued to have cheap, painted-on tops. Even before this, I remember some of the Fashion Fever dolls had painted on tops. There was a glimmer of hope in the Barbie line when, in 2009, the Fashionista line was introduced. And these were quite high-quality dolls that were still affordable. They wore fun outfits and had a lot of articulation. In fact, their articulation was advertised quite a lot. But in 2013, the Fashionista line removed pretty much all of the articulation, so the dolls were incredibly stiff and rigid. Meanwhile, Barbie had long been criticized for promoting unachievable beauty standards and not being diverse enough, which is definitely true, even though we're all very nostalgic for the Barbies of the 90s and 80s and earlier. Barbie had not always been as progressive and not as diverse as she is today. But Barbie had been slow to adapt. In 2014, Barbie had recently been called out for appearing on Sports Illustrated magazine and for a problematic children's book. Basically, Barbie didn't have a very good reputation with the general public. Mattel slowly started to respond to these complaints. First of all, they added articulated ankles to some of the Barbie dolls so that they could wear both high heels and flats. Even though I think it's great for Barbie to have the choice to wear high heels or flats, this is when we start to see the de-yassification of Barbie. A couple years after this, some of the fashionistas started being produced with permanently flat feet. In 2015, Barbie was at her lowest. Sales dropped by 14% in just 3 months, and it was their 8th consecutive month of falling sales. The quality of the dolls was quickly disappearing. They went from looking like this just a couple years earlier to now looking like this. Barbie was desperate for some positive press. So they started diversifying their Barbie Fashionista line by introducing a wider array of skin tones, face molds, and hair textures. In 2016, they launched their The Doll Evolves campaign, which introduced a new array of body types to the Barbie line. Also, I believe in 2016, in an attempt to make Barbie come across more attainable, she started to wear very unslay outfits, like the slay is in short supply. 2016 is when we start seeing a lot of t-shirt dresses, ugly patterns, just some really uncohesive, like, horrible designs. I mean, just look at the box design. Black and white. Who thought black and white was a good colour scheme for Barbie? Of all the colours you can choose, black and white? It's just so devoid of fun. But the Doll Evolves campaign was a massive success, and Barbie finally saw her sales increase. After this, Mattel would add new diverse characters to the Barbie line pretty much every year. I think this was an attempt to cultivate some more positive press for the Barbie line, but obviously it is also very positive that more diverse characters were being introduced, because everyone deserves to feel represented by the toys they play with. Around this time, Barbie went from being known as an elitist, unattainable, bad influence, to being known as one of the most inclusive dolls in the world. But unfortunately, for some reason, we can't have diversity and also quality. In around 2016, Barbie started using a cheaper face printing process. And in a couple years after that, fans started to notice really bad pixelation on Barbie dolls' faces, and that is still a problem to this day. If anything, it's getting worse. I asked my Instagram followers to send in pictures of badly pixelated dolls, and there was so many to choose from. Why can't Barbie slay anymore? In the 2000s and 2010s, people seemed to love to shame women and fictional women like Barbie for being too feminine. And you couldn't be a strong, empowered woman and also, you know, love makeup and high heels. Did they learn nothing from Legally Blonde? And I feel like Barbie in 2015 absolutely started to buy into this way of thinking. But now I feel like a lot of people are a lot more understanding and realize that you can have duality, like you can like the color pink or like wearing makeup and still be a smart, intelligent, strong, empowered woman. And also people are starting to really appreciate the importance of being able to express yourself through your style and having a personal style and being able to express that at work. I just think it's such a shame that Barbie used to be very slay and would wear outfits like this to work. And now she can only wear outfits like this to work. Like, where's Barbie's personal style? Bring it back. I feel like Barbie has embraced her Barbiecore aesthetic a little tiny bit in the past, like 2 or 3 years, ever since the Barbie movie. But I think Mattel is still really nervous for Barbie to be labelled as, like, a bimbo and not, like, a girl boss. Anyway, now let's talk about Mattel's DEI commitments. The Hollywood Reporter had this to say in an article. In a move to avoid winding up in the crosshairs of the government's campaign against DEI, Mattel scrubbed references tied to boosting diversity at the company. Compared to the previous year, when it highlighted its commitments to such initiatives, Mattel omitted DEI resources and goals. Just a year ago, Mattel told investors that it aspires to increase representation of ethnicity at all levels of its organization. It pointed to several employee resource groups intended to boost collaboration between underrepresented identities across the company. Such language was missing in Mattel's proxy statement this year, with no reference to diversity or ethnicity, as well as data about women and minorities on its board. The pivot was apparent in investor disclosures filed on April 3rd, ahead of a shareholders meeting in May. The changes come amid an escalating drive by the Trump administration against DEI programs that have prompted several companies in the entertainment industry, including Disney, Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Amazon, to roll back diversity initiatives and a court ruling striking down requirements to disclose diversity on the board of directors. Which is a real shame, but, you know, Mattel's intention does not negate the fact that Barbie has made a lot of steps forward in diversity, and that still is a very positive thing. And I also don't think that this necessarily means that all of that progress is going to immediately be undone. Hopefully it isn't. I'm just nervous that Mattel might be a lot less concerned about making sure their workforce reflects the world around them and the diversity in the world around them. What do you guys think? In a statement, Mattel said that inclusion is part of our DNA. We foster an environment that attracts incredibly talented people and a culture of respect and belonging that we are very proud of, which benefits our business and consumers. As it relates to our products and experiences, play is our language, and we speak to our customers authentically by representing the world as they see and imagine it. This statement about respect and belonging doesn't really align with the fact that they recently fired 120 employees, but anyway. Now let's talk about the impact of the Barbie movie, or maybe like the squandered potential of the Barbie movie. A lot of the articles I read about Mattel removing its DEI commitments started by mentioning how progressive and inclusive the Barbie movie was just 2 years ago. And I just wanted to speak about the kind of tonal dissonance between the Barbie movie and Mattel as a company, and also talk about the potential the Barbie movie had to impact the Barbie line, but Mattel really squandered that potential. First of all, I just want to say that Mattel has a stranglehold on Barbie's image, but the Barbie movie was created by Warner Brothers and Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig's husband. It wasn't actually coming directly from Mattel. I think the only thing Mattel really learned from the Barbie movie is that Barbie can make a lucrative lifestyle brand. Like, now more than ever, we see Barbie on t-shirts and furniture and other accessories, doing loads of different collabs. But the success of the Barbie movie hasn't really translated into new incredible dolls. And I actually think the success of the Barbie movie probably would have prompted a lot of people to look into collecting dolls, like both kids and adults. But I can imagine them going to the shop and realizing that all the Barbies on the shelves today are not at the quality that they remember from when they were kids. They are just trash. I think Mattel is slowly giving up on the idea of Barbie being a fashion doll. The whole situation with the president quickly and clumsily removing American production from China by raising tariffs definitely has Mattel scared. This is one of the many reasons why I think Mattel is interested in becoming more of a IP holding company. Mattel has expressed before its intentions to move from being a toy manufacturer to being an IP holding company. This means that a lot of the risk involved in making Barbie products is the burden of the company that's making them instead of Mattel. For example, the company Just Play is already making the extra large Barbie dolls as well as the Barbie styling heads. This doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, maybe Barbie dolls will start being made by a toy company which is a lot more competent and will make beautiful, high-quality dolls. But I think that's wishful thinking, and I think the chances of that are very unlikely. Let's quickly talk about Mattel relying on AI. Just last year, Mattel was boasting about how they have been using AI to create a lot of their packaging. And then this year, they fired loads of their creatives and designers. And of course, I can't help but think that these two occurrences might be linked. The thing with AI is that it can be a useful tool for creatives, but it shouldn't replace creatives entirely. There's always a kind of unauthentic quality to anything entirely created by AI. Our next topic is, do kids just not like dolls anymore? Now, it is true that toy sales have been falling as kids just aren't as interested in toys as they used to be. Although some toys continue to be successful, like Lego. You know, Lego has a fundamental, like, universal appeal. It's creative. You can build stuff with it, and that's always going to be fun. I would argue that I think Barbie could have the same fun, creative, universal appeal if the dolls were any good, effectively. I feel like if Mattel made dolls that could inspire kids and spark creativity, then they would start buying them again. I mean, at the moment, I've seen Happy Meal toys with more quality than Barbie. There will always be a place for imaginative play, and Barbie is great for that. And kids do enjoy dressing up and fashion and trying on different styles. I mean, look at the online game Dress to Impress. It's like so popular, and Dress to Impress is basically just playing with Barbies. Kids enjoy playing that game because they get to be creative and they get to create different looks. Barbie should be that. But the looks that Barbie is wearing just aren't inspiring. They aren't interesting. They're boring. Basically, I'm saying if Mattel put a little bit more energy into creating high quality, beautiful dolls, then I think kids would want to buy them. Okay, so I thought it would be fun for us to quickly compare a Barbie from 1999 and a Barbie from 2025, this year. Now, these lines are also very similar. They're both hair play lines. They both cost around the same amount of money. They both cost about £20. Let's first of all look at this incredible Cool Clips Barbie designed by the one and only Bill Greening. Now, first of all, her face is absolutely stunning. I love this face mold. They've done such a good job printing her face. This one definitely isn't as impactful, her face. The screening isn't so bad on this one. It isn't super pixelated. The hair quality is really good on the one from 1999. This one, it is still pretty good. I will say it is still pretty good. I do like the hair on this one. This doll has this really cute necklace with real beads, and this one doesn't even have a necklace. She does have this plastic bracelet, which doesn't really match the rest of her outfit, and she has these kind of cringy cat ears. Yeah. This doll also had a really 2010s side part, which I absolutely hated, so I tied this elastic band in here. I basically did that because I really hated her side parting. Now, the outfits. This one has a very simple dress, but it's really nicely executed. It fits her incredibly well. The material is really fun, very Barbie, very sparkly, and it has these cute little flowers sewn on, which match the hair clips she comes with. Just really cute, and it ties the whole outfit together. This doll, her outfit is very cringy looking. This material feels pretty cheap, and I hate the like cat design. I think it's really cringe. These bows look really cheap. It just looks bad. It looks bad. Now, this doll did come with a second outfit, but it's also not very inspiring. You know, it's a bit more glam than this outfit, I will say. Also, these two outfits aren't cohesive at all. Where's the vision for this doll line, you know? The 1999 doll has these cute little high-heeled platform shoes which match the colour of her dress. This one has these boots, which I actually do really like these boots, but they don't really match the outfit. You know what I mean? Like, they match the bracelet, I guess. Now, obviously, lots of people at the time complained about Barbie's body, but I do love this body mold. Like, I love these really nice, dainty, like, posed arms. I think they're really cute. Whereas modern day Barbies have these, like, really awkward, outstretched hands. They just look terrible. And it really annoys me that if they've got a bent arm, like this one, the bent arm, like, won't sit on her hip. It really annoys me that. Like, why doesn't the hand sit on her hip so she can, like, have her hand on her hip? Just makes it look really awkward. Like, why is her hand like that? Why isn't it like posed nicely? And then of course this doll has bendable legs, which feel very high quality. And obviously it's fun to be able to move and pose your Barbie doll. And then this one has these incredibly cheap feeling hollow plastic legs with no articulation, which I think just really limits how much you can do when you're playing with this doll as well. If I was a kid, I'd be really disappointed because she can't even sit down, you know? This doll also came with 3 different clip-on hair extensions and some other clips. This one just came with 1 hair extension and a couple hair clips, but you know, I don't know, it's just not as fun. I just think overall the colors for this one, the designs are so much more fun and beautiful. You know, they just look incredible. And this one just looks a bit kind of tacky and cheap. You know, so there you have it, doll fans. Do I think we're witnessing the downfall of Barbie? Maybe. I am still optimistic that one day Barbie will return to her former glory and we can continue to have loads of exciting, diverse dolls. Please let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments. If you love dolls as much as I do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Check me out on Instagram and TikTok, and also consider supporting me on Patreon, and I will see you real soon, doll fans. Bye! Thank you so much to Siren Kelly, Nikki, Sunny, Bobby and Cheryl, Imani, Tracy, Jico, Patty Heiss, Anna, Jordan, Cynthia, Raina Ray, Petra, Desi, Michael, @dolls_on-the-go, Jasper, Lillian Lish, Michael and Russ, Amber Rodriguez, Natalie, Doreen, Lexi, Jeremy, Shannon, Angelique, Spooky Mama Baker, Vito and Logan, and Sophie. And thank you to all my other Patreon supporters. Your support means everything.